if you're told that a COVID unit is the worst unit ever built, or anything built after COVID has worse quality than what was built in the 1990s or the early 2000s, they're full of absolute shit. Tell you 100% right now. That is such baloney and bullcrap. 2026s are actually better quality units than 2006s. I have a 2006 Weekend Warrior. If you want to come down and see this fifth wheel toy hauler, which was considered one of the top of the line in the mid 2000s, and you compare it, heaven forbid, to a company that I don't like, Brinkley, I would take Brinkley over this Weekend Warrior any day of the week. They are better built over the last 20 years than they were 20 years ago. So stop lying for your clicks. Stop telling bull crap stories to get clicks. The second thing, the RV market is going to crash. Prices are going to get cut. This is intensified over the last 3 weeks. I have now seen 22 YouTube videos and 10 TikToks where guys have hundreds of thousands of views trying to convince people not to buy a new RV because prices are going to crash in the next 3 months. That is a complete fabrication and a complete lie. That is absolutely 100% a complete and utter disaster of a lie. Okay. Now, while the used RV market has losing value and depreciating, they're not appreciating, they're depreciating. So it's a depreciating asset. We just went back to normal depreciation on used in the last 2 or 3 years. The new RV market will do nothing but go up in price. Okay, so the way it was explained to me by a former, God rest his soul, president and CEO of a major RV company is the prices will never crash even in a bad economy. They will simply change gears and do something different, because it is very, very uncommon knowledge that the original reason why you're able to get loans on a motorhome, a travel trailer, a fifth wheel, the reason why you're able to get 20-year terms, 15-year terms, is there's guarantees and insurance from the lenders, because this is a toy. So let me use the car industry as an example. When you go buy a Toyota, you go buy a Lexus, you have Toyota Motor Credit, because they have a privatized institution that does lending for Toyota, pre-owned and new. And sometimes they pick up other cars as well. GM Financial does Buick, Cadillac, GMC, Chevy, Ford Motor Credit. Everybody has some kind of lending institution. Hyundai Financial and Kia have the same lending institution. Honda, Nissan have their own lending institutions. So they can crash in price. And the reason why is because, let's just use U.S. Bank as an example. U.S. Bank is one of the largest lenders of any kind of vehicle across the entire world. One of the largest in the world. If U.S. Bank sees that the Honda Civic is having engine recall problems, they can go, nope, we're done. We're not lending on Honda ever. But it doesn't affect the ability for Honda to sell cars, because Honda's financial company will continue to buy loans. The RV industry is all privatized lending through credit unions, banks, and alternate lenders. So if there is going to be a price crash on new RVs, lenders will simply stop lending. Case in point, 2008, 2009. Have prices gone up since the Great Recession or gone down? You already have your answer. They've slowly gone up. Now, COVID was a whole different animal. We don't need to talk about COVID. I'm talking about normal market. It will never go down. So, when did it go down? For some of you that are going, well, oh wait, I got a huge deal on a Beaver. Yes, bankrupt companies like Fleetwood, like Monaco, like, American Coach, like Rexall Motorhomes. Sorry, Bill Rex, if you're watching. Okay, all these companies went out of business. So of course you could get pennies on the dollar for that coach. But now the lending institutions see that the majority of this is umbrella corporation. Umbrella corporation, which means guys like Doug Gettard, who's in charge of Forest River, Jeff Reynolds, who's in charge of Keystone, Bob Martin, who's in charge of all of Thor Industries, will continue to raise prices. By the way, if they do take a 2-month break from actually building RVs, then guess what happens? Less units come out, prices go up. So there will be no crash. If you guys want to save money on a new RV, anybody who predicts there's a crash on new RVs can't afford a new RV. Listen to my lips very carefully. You are a con artist who wants to sit there and tell people they shouldn't buy a new RV because you can't afford one. I'm going to make that very simple. Okay? So, at the end of the day, if you're a guy that can only spend $5,000 on a motorhome, stop telling people that you got the best deal on earth because you bought a $500,000 coach for $5,000. Yeah, you bought a 40-year-old Leakazoid that probably is falling apart. Stop telling people uneducated crap.